Question: what is the perfect summer meal? Honestly, let's talk about it. Back in a minute. Hi, this is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City. Saves money. I love to help people keep their money. Let me ask you a question. I don't know about you, but is it hot by you? What a summer. Ay, 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 ay. Oh my gosh, the rising temperatures and the rising humidity makes a person feel like wilting. But that still doesn't necessarily mean you never, ever, ever want to eat anything. Okay, I'm going to call this my poor girl's recipe for potato salad. What I love about potato salad, it's sort of like any salad, which is sort of like a blank canvas, and you could do as you wish with it. But my favorite thing to do is make life as simple as possible because, first of all, the ingredients are very readily available, very inexpensive, thus the name Poor Gal. And some of the ingredients are actually optional, which makes life even less expensive for those that just don't want to go for the extra money and just want a basic meal. Potato salad has everything you need in it. You have some carbs, you have some protein, you have a little bit of fat, but most importantly, you got great taste. You can make it ahead of time, and it is a perfect summer dinner. It can be used as a side dish. I love my homemade potato salad, let's say with a Nathan's Frankfurter sometimes, or sometimes I just want a dish of potato salad with a little salt and pepper on it, and I am done. That is my entire meal. So let's get right to it. Basically, what I could recommend to you is that you cook the potatoes in advance, like even literally like the night before. You hard boil some eggs. Let me tell you how much the amounts. You need 2 pounds of new potatoes. They are the perfect potato for potato salad. The other types, in my opinion, are on the starchy side. But if that's what you have on hand and you're okay with a slight amount of starchiness, be my guest. Who am I to say? Okay, you work with what you have. New potatoes, some people call them red potatoes. Some people even just use the thin skin. Any thin skin potato works great. So you boil them up. You could do that. You could actually boil let's say for 2 pounds of the potatoes. I would boil up what I like to do, depending on how many guests are around, about 3 to 4 hard boiled eggs. Okay. You can boil them up actually even in the same pot. So if you really want to consolidate, okay? So you could do all this the night before, make your life easier, and basically just assemble the dressing part. Now, when it comes to the dressing part, obviously you're going to let the potatoes and the eggs cool. You could just literally like just put them in the fridge overnight or a couple hours ahead of time, just like that. So easy peasy. So that's done. Now, for the dressing part, this is like, again, the blank canvas part. Some people love to work with a product called Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip is delicious. And if you're working with that, literally, you kind of don't need really to add too many other ingredients. Or the traditional way, which is the one I do too, with mayonnaise, I would use about 2 cups. If you're working with 2 eggs, maybe 1 cup to a cup and a half. But if you're using 3 to 4 eggs, honestly, I would go for about 2 cups. 2 cups works. I'm just trying to eyeball it in my mind. And whatever vinegar you have on hand, some people like to use red wine vinegar. You can even just use the white vinegar, whatever you have on hand. See, that's the trick. Work with what you have on hand. There's no, oh my gosh, I got to run to the grocery store because somebody on YouTube said I need red wine vinegar. No, you don't. It could be just as good with the white vinegar. Just saying, just saying. So use about, eyeball about a teaspoon. You don't want it too vinegary, okay? Some people say you have to use Dijon mustard, whatever mustard you have. Again, poor gal salad here. Whatever mustard you have on hand, optional. Some people dislike mustard. You don't like mustard, why are you going to put it in your salad? It's not going to change my day either way if you use that mustard or not. It makes just a little difference, just like a little difference, okay? Now, this, again, is optional. You could go to really easy routes. They have that prepared bacon that's already fully cooked. Chop it, throw it in, eyeball it. Why bacon? Bacon gives it that little bit pop of saltiness to it. Again, optional, or you could use what I call, that's already done up, fakin' bacon. You know, the kind that you shake out of a jar. Those bacony bits type thing. Could use that. Eyeball it, okay? Let's see. All right. Very inexpensive. Chop up one celery stalk. Chop up one red onion. If you don't have a red onion and you have a little bit of a Spanish onion, a little bit of fresh onion, optionally. Some people don't like onion chunks in their salad. Go for a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder. If you know anybody that doesn't like chunks of things like that in their stuff, go for the powder. They won't know the better, and the flavor has been enhanced. And by the way, that's a very cheap, inexpensive route to go. Okay, so chop up some parsley. And yeah, the celery stalk finely chopped. Now, what my mom and dad used to like to do, they would get like little curls of carrot, fresh carrot, just make little carrot curls, okay? And then that would be entered into the salad. And basically, you're just assembling it. If you have parsley flakes, if you don't have fresh parsley, that's okay. Open your cupboard and look around. Say, oh, do I have those parsley? More than probably you do. And it works just as well. So basically, you're assembling everything. Oh, by the way, you don't have to peel those potatoes. You keep those skins on. It gives it a really nice texture. Now, some folks like to manually chop their egg. Some people I've heard actually grate their egg. To me, I wouldn't bother grating an egg because you're just dirtying a cheese grater. That's me. I'd rather just chop it up, easy peasy. Whatever you could chop up and assemble ahead of time, wrap it nicely, put it in the fridge overnight. In the morning, you want to go to a picnic or something, you want to put the whole thing together and then as fresh as can be. And you could do that. There is nothing, absolutely nothing in this recipe that was really expensive. And the bacon is optional, so it's not necessary. But personally, I like those little pops of a salty taste. There are other options too. If you could come up with a different option, what would you? This is actually a good question. You know what? I have a question for you, and please enter it in the comment section below. Based on what I just mentioned for the recipe, what would you do differently about this recipe? Or what is your recipe? What is your recipe? Now, this is going to yield enough for about like 4 to 6 people, generous servings. And it's been my personal experience, literally, that the longer potato salad sits together, you could even make it the night before you anticipate using it. Put it in one of those, nicely sealed plastic containers, airtight type of thing. Make it the night before, and the next day the flavors have married. Sometimes the longer you let something sit, the better it tastes. Oh my word. Then you could just, let's say you're having it at home for a dinner, just come home and just grill up a couple of hot dogs on your stove. You got your stuff. And if you don't have a frankfurter, you just eat that salad all by itself. Oh, here's something else I like to do. I like to sprinkle some paprika just for, garnish. It just looks better to me, just all. All right, if you don't have that, just use a little salt and pepper, and that will suffice. There you go. All right, have a wonderful day, everybody, and thanks so much for tuning in. If you found value in this video, please slam down the like button. Take good care. Bye-bye.